For more than a decade, one question has never faded from the public consciousness. What if Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 is finally found? After all this time, what truths would emerge from the depths, and what haunting mysteries would finally be laid to rest? The world has been left to wonder, but the discovery of the aircraft would turn speculation into science. If the main wreckage is ever discovered, the very first step for investigators would be to map its precise location on the ocean floor. The position, the spread of the debris field, and the way the wreckage is distributed would immediately provide critical clues. It would tell them whether the aircraft met the ocean in a controlled CN, or if it plunged from the sky at a catastrophic high speed. Even the shape of the wreckage tells a story. A controlled descent, where the aircraft entered the water relatively intact, would suggest deliberate pilot input or that some form of aircraft control was maintained until the final moments. On the other hand, a steep, uncontrolled impact scattering debris over a wide area could point to a number of scenarios. Complete fuel exhaustion leading to a stall, crew incapacitation from a sudden event, or a catastrophic system failure that rendered the plane uncontrollable. In the silent language of wreckage, every dent and fracture is a fingerprint of the final moments. Of course, the most critical breakthrough would be the recovery of the flight recorders, the black boxes. The flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder are designed to survive immense pressure and impact. Finding them would be like finding the Rosetta Stone of this mystery. The data recorder could reveal everything about the aircraft's performance, engine thrust, control inputs, autopilot modes, and any system failures that occurred. But it's the cockpit voice recorder that holds the human story, the part we all want to know. It could finally tell us what was said or not said in those final, lost hours. If the cockpit audio reveals calm, routine conversation followed by a sudden event, investigators might focus more on technical causes. If, however, the recording is filled with the sound of alarms, or just eerie silence, it could point toward hypoxia, where a lack of oxygen incapacitates the crew, a sudden fire, or a complete systems collapse. And if deliberate actions are heard on that recording, the great mystery of MH370 would shift from endless speculation to a grim, confirmed reality. For the families and the world, this would be the definitive answer. Finding the aircraft would allow investigators to finally confirm or dismiss the many long-standing theories that have circulated for years. Was it a catastrophic mechanical failure? Was it a deliberate act of human intervention? Did the autopilot fly the plane for hours on its own until the fuel ran out? Discovery would mean evidence would finally replace imagination. The truth, whatever it may be, would be pieced together not from satellite pings and theories, but from cold, hard facts found on the seabed. So, why hasn't it been found yet? The southern Indian Ocean is one of the least explored and most hostile environments on Earth. We know more about the surface of the moon than we do about some parts of this ocean floor. The extreme depths, which can reach several kilometers, combined with rugged underwater mountains and powerful, unpredictable currents, make any search incredibly slow, prohibitively expensive, and fundamentally uncertain. It's entirely possible the aircraft lies just beyond the boundaries of previous search zones, hidden in a deep trench or canyon. If MH370 is found, its legacy would extend far beyond just providing answers to this one tragedy. It would undoubtedly reshape aviation safety, aircraft tracking, and emergency response systems all over the world. MH370 has already prompted changes, like stricter standards for flight tracking over oceanic routes, but finding the wreckage and understanding the cause would lead to a new wave of innovations. Ensuring such a disappearance could never happen again. Finding it wouldn't just close a chapter, it would change the entire book of aviation safety. For the families of the 239 people on board, discovery isn't about assigning blame, it is about truth. It's about finally knowing where their loved ones rest. It's about understanding what truly happened on that flight. Closure doesn't erase the pain of loss, but it can bring an end to the torment of uncertainty. An answer, no matter how difficult, allows for a different kind of peace, one that has been denied for over a decade. But we must also consider the possibility that MH370 is never recovered. Even if the wreckage remains lost to the ocean, the investigation has already forced the aviation industry to evolve. The mystery itself became a catalyst for progress, improving how the world tracks aircraft in real time. But it would also leave profound questions unanswered forever. Some stories end with clear answers. Others, tragically, may end only with silence, becoming a permanent part of modern myth and history. MH370 disappeared beyond the horizon, a modern aircraft vanishing into thin air. But the search for truth, for answers, and for the people on board did not disappear with it. If the aircraft is one day found, history will finally have its voice. Until then, the mystery remains, a silent testament to what we have lost, waiting patiently beneath the waves. Thank you for watching. If you found this reflection meaningful, please consider subscribing for more stories like this.